Hi guys, I'm Shah from CharliesAngelTarot and I'm using the Oracle Vision deck of Hiro Manchetti, and this is going to take a little bit longer than normal, but this is the card for tomorrow and for today. So it's today's card and tomorrow for the 8th and the 9th of September. Okay, this is for Capricorn and I'll have to find it in the book because these cards do not have any names, do not have anything on them. So here we go. Sorry, the telephone was there. So this is the card for Capricorn, STEENBOK. Letting go, offering a way out. Have the courage to set it free. If it flies away, it was never truly yours. If it returns of its own free will, then you know for sure it was yours. Such is the old adage regarding a loved one. To truly love and be loved, love has to be given and returned freely and unconditionally. This image captures that moment of release. Will the butterfly return or leave through the open window? It is a poignant moment, an important moment, and one of courage for the girl who has released the butterfly, but is herself a prisoner. Her scenario is symbolically represented by the chess pieces. Right. The analogy of the imprisonment can be caused by applied to its self-incarnation. We are often prisoners trapped in a cell of our own making, either by fear, perceptions of duty, or loyalty to the causes of other people, whether caring for or loved one, or feeling trapped by financial, medical, or any other such circumstances can represent an emotional imprisonment as real as any barred window. Well, that is amazing. Now, what I see in this card is that you've got the key. Then I have to think of the key in the Lenormand. You've got the key to open the door or close the door. And that thinking logic is important. It's just like a chessboard life. And the cat is watching the butterfly and thinking, shall I play with it or what? And that's how some of the things that I see. And butterfly is also a transformation from cocoon to a butterfly. So if you open the door, then you might feel that you're in a transformational period, going into a new one, a more beautiful one. And that's how I see this card. So that's awesome. Okay, we're going on to Aquarius. I know it's a long story, and you can play it back, and you can stop and start it. So just to think about it, it's nice food for thought. So just see how it goes and whether it resonates with you. You most probably will be able to take something out of it. And this is one of my favorite cards, and this is number 20. And I'll tell you why in a minute. I was talking to somebody about it. Belief and faith. Faith in yourself. Faith as in a religion. Faith that we can be together. That's what I'm seeing. You see all the charms of all different faiths. Only if we can see, take off our blindfolds, that we can respect each other for what we are and who they are. We can stand together and one will be strong. Okay, we'll be stronger than the elite if we stand together. Belief or have faith. The concept of this card is similar to those present in the faith cards of my tarot decks. A selection of religious symbols represents a gamut of beliefs. the irony of this common gammon, or common denominator is tragic, with so much suffering inflicted in their name. Religions have much to answer for. The blindfold can represent the blind faith such religions demand from their followers, but also the blindness often shown towards beliefs of others. What did I say? Wow! I'm glad I can see a lot of things in such a picture. It also reminds me of the Eight of Swords and the Two of Swords. All this is set against the backdrop of Darwinian evolution shown in the red below. The various golden symbols, an ironic contradiction that represents the common denominator of humanity, is shared by all religions and adds a question mark to them all. Wow, that is Matus. Matus is wandering about. Okay, so I hope that was for Aquarius, WATERMAN. And let's have a look at what we have for Pisces. Pisces. So, take that blindfold off and see what is around you. Be more conscious of what is around you. And don't just judge a book by its cover. That's what I'm getting to hear with that card for Aquarius, WATERMAN. Okay, we've got number 10. So somebody's going to have a new beginning. And this lady has books. Hold on. Even as a collar around her neck. Knowledge, research, knowing the facts, being prepared, forewarned is forearmed. It says forewarned, and then I say is forearmed. Sometimes knowledge is dangerous, or somebody, Pisces, you could be greedy to learn. That's not, you might be ambitious. That's no problem, but don't forget the people around you. This is also a bit like the Tower in the Lenormand. This is carded number 10. Part of the process as assessing a situation is the use of intuition and psychic gifts. But some circumstances may merit a more analytical approach, being better informed and armed with a greater understanding of the facts and background to any situation might provide a stronger basis from which to make better decisions. It appears that the characters, or the character in this scene, has dedicated the necessary due diligence and is armed with a substantial amount of information. But therein is a question of how much may be too much. One can become overwhelmed and tied down in detail, suffocated by the volume of unnecessary diversions, at the risk of overanalyzing or not seeing the forest through the trees. She's suffocating because look at the books around her neck. She can't hold her head, she can't bend it. Wow. Okay, now we're going on to Aries, Ram. That was Pisces. Okay, that was Pisces, the fish. Now we're going on to Aries. Aries. This one looks like rockets. Bit scientific. Number 16, 7. We're back in balance. 16. I love these cards. I love Kiro Manchetti's artistry. He puts the 18th, 17th century into the 21st century with this card. Distance, isolation, perspective. It's just like the Hanged Man. Okay. Physical Physical distance or emotional detachment serve to give us a greater comprehensive view. Distance may also provide a clearer overall perspective than a close-up would. From this vantage point, we can often get the bigger picture and reach different conclusions. A solitary woman strolls the desolated beach, her isolation providing a point of reflection, distanced from the influence of others. This is a scene of personal contemplation. The floating monoliths provide perspective and suggest the distances with greater emphasis than would an empty sky. Perhaps representing issues in her life, the distance reinforces her isolation, but may also provide her with a perspective and clarity of vision that she is seeking. We need to strike a balance when assessing a situation. Are we too closely involved, or should we step back? Are we closely involved, or do we have to step back to get a clearer picture? That is awesome. Okay, that was Aries. And sometimes it is better to step back, especially if it is a close friend or a family member that is asking for help or advice, because you're emotionally involved. Some people don't like it when you say no. They feel let down. Unfortunately, sometimes, we haven't got a choice. Okay, we've got number 11. Harmony, balance, being in tune with others. Okay, that is for Taurus, STEER. Harmony is not achieved in isolation. It requires a resonance or a participation with others linked by time, rhythm, or agreement. To be one of sync results in harmony, discord, and conflict. These musical metaphors can easily be applied to other actions and relationships that require us to live, work, and generally relate to others. Adjusting our perspective and modifying our position allows us to disregard differences and move forward in tune with others. With deft fingers, the gesture produces a melodic rainbow of harmony. Her dress and the musical score sheet also working together to tell the same message of her delight. Green sleeves, of course. Be wary of always making adjustments for the common good. There will be occasions when you should take the lead, and a solo performance is also required. In other words, don't let anybody boss you about, manipulate you. Learn to say no. Let it be your own free will if you want to help somebody, and you have to adjust your agenda or your time. Okay? And also I get to hear, don't be beholden to anybody. Okay? Nobody belongs to anybody. Literally. Okay, that was for Taurus, STEER. Now we're going on to Gemini. Gemini. These messages really make your brain work. Gemini. Ooh. Yeah, this is a good one for Gemini. You're in your head. Look at that one. There's lots of things coming out. Oh, and the last one for Taurus was number 11, so that was the angel number. You've got an angel number, the porthole. So step into that new being, Taurus, if you're still listening. Okay, creativity, imagination. Wow, that's you, Gemini. You always wreck your brains. In its myriad forms, creativity is an expression of our humanity and imagination, both in its production and in its recognition. To take shape, color, form, sound, or words and give them a new life is an act of creation. Various symbols of the tools and medium through which creativity is expressed are worn by our artists as a decorative headdress of imagination. Sometimes creativity can consume our thoughts as slow burning embers waiting for release. At other times it is a spontaneous explosion of inspiration. Either way, it is a wondrous human characteristic, and there are infinite varieties of individual expression, but alas also an infinite variety of assessment by others. Right, if you are creative and you think and you make beautiful things, people will criticize you or assess you, and some will give you recognition and some won't. But don't take any notice of that. Okay, if somebody criticizes you, then don't feel sorry or get upset. Okay, Gemini? That's number 14, so that's a 5. You're trying to find the balance between, and you're too much in your head, of course. You're typical Gemini. Your creativity is most probably the gift of the gab. But you are creative because your mind is always inventing new solutions. I know that. Okay. Now, we've got for Cancer, we've got 51, and this is a lady, and time is of essence to her. Okay. Time is of essence to her. I think she's waiting for news. So let's have a look. She can always take, if it's taking too long, she can always ring the person and try to get into contact with whom she's waiting on. Okay, messages, deadlines, anticipation. Waiting for a message to arrive can bring anxiety, fear, hope, good news, or bad news, acceptance or rejection. A ticking clock counts down the time remaining. A young woman has been waiting anxiously, and the sleeping dog suggests she has done so for some time. The phone is silent, and the bouquet of roses suggests a previous response was received, but from whom? The same sender or someone else. Either way, the anticipated answer finally arrives, but by now the clock indicates that the hour is past. Just in time or too late? The process of waiting for a response isn't merely one of passing the time patiently. The immediacy or tardiness of the response may also provide some insight beyond the message itself. A deadline imposed may be tied to a condition or ultimatum. Is there flexibility, or has the opportunity been lost? So if the time is of essence, darlings, get into contact with the person that you're waiting on, if you know who it is. Okay, that's for Cancer. KREEFT. Okay, right. This is the card for Leo. I've just shaken it and looked it up in the book so I can read it to you. This is the support bearing the weight of others. That can be pretty heavy, carrying somebody else's burdens. Think about it before you take on the job, Leo. LEEUW. This card represents the offering of strength and assistance and bearing a burden on behalf of others. Providing support can take many forms: moral, emotional, physical, and financial. We can offer our shoulders to bear the weight or lend an ear to share grief. Here a jester offers his shoulders on which the girl can perform. He raises her up, allowing her to be the focus of the audience's attention. His subdued posture deliberately taking second place, his identity hidden, he provides an anonymous contribution. In the background are 3 tarot strength cards, which serve as a props and reaffirm the card's message. While the effort and jester is a noble one, there are times where we should come out of the shadows and take credit for our contributions. You do not always have to settle for being second fiddle. Be careful not to allow others to take advantage of your generosity. And that's for you, Leo. That's finding your own balance before. I get to hear with this card, take care of yourself before you take care of another. Love yourself before you can love another. And that's how you can be a pillar of strength. And Leo, it's amazing that this card has come out for you because you are the strength card in the tarot. Okay? And the strength card is there. Do you see it? That's your card, Leo. So that's amazing. And it's all the strength cards in different decks of Giro Manchetti. So I think that's amazing. That's beautiful. Okay, and this card is number 7. And that is the card for Virgo. Virgo. Infinity. No limits. Perseverance. That means that you are strong and that you persevere and don't give up. That is what I'm hearing. Don't give up with something that is hard. Okay? Gather the knowledge. Gather the knowledge. Go to the library if need be. Okay? The abstract concept of infinity is given. A visual reference here that this card represents limitless possibilities that infinity embraces. A monkey would by random keystrokes eventually put them into precise order required. So don't be a copycat, don't be a slave, don't be a monkey. Put them in precise order required to replicate the entire works of Shakespeare. This intriguing theory is effective despite its overwhelming odds, because it defines infinity in terms other than an abstract improbability. Wow, that's difficult English. It provides enough essence of possibility that it can be quantified and grasped, even if only in the realms of our imagination. But then we are free to imagine so many other improbable scenarios. It is appealing to consider that any personal goals or ambitions, no matter how fanciful, can, by the same criteria as our Shakespearean analogy, ultimately be achieved. The only limitation to their fulfillment is a matter of time and effort. So you can achieve anything that you wish, so long you have diligence and perseverance. so long you are diligent and have perseverance. Sorry, I'm losing my English, but again, through doing these cards, I am also persevering to improve my English, and I'm diligent in doing so. Wow, this is getting mind-blowing. So I hope you like that card, Virgo. That was your card. Okay, now we're going on to Libra. Libra, you've got a beautiful card, and that's number 15. And number 15 in the tarot is bad habits. So I wonder whether that's bad habits. This lady's got a rose and a letter, so I think it's got something to do with news. A love letter. Okay, let's have a look. And she's sending news or she's receiving news. Okay. Farewells, goodbyes, closures. Yes. Okay. This card portrays a farewell, which might be a final parting or a temporary goodbye, a tragic loss, or simply a page. Could be leading to a new future. The woman's sober expression gives us no clue as to the content of the envelope. A farewell message? Yes, but one received or to be given. The rose suggests a possible lovers' separation, but is it a final goodbye or a temporary one? Until next time. Either way, as any airport scene will demonstrate, departure lounges tend to be sadder than arrivals. The birds flying in the background suggest that a return is in the future. Our lives are a constant flow of farewells to people, places, and things, some with regret and some with enthusiasm, as they are replaced with new options. So that is saying goodbye to somebody this week, perhaps temporary, or today and tomorrow, perhaps temporary or permanent. Somebody might be migrating, because those birds mean to me migration. Yeah, just there. So they are migrating, perhaps just for the winter, and they'll be back next year. Perhaps somebody might be saying goodbye because they're going on business travel. So you might be going on business travel, Libra. Okay, now we're going on to Scorpio. 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 I'm going to go live in a minute, so I have to hurry up. I'll most probably download this afterwards. And you've got number 18. Okay, number 18. That looks like the Queen of Pentacles, because she stands for fertility and birth. Let's see whether that means also pregnancy, fertility, or whatever. Nurturing, caring, taking care of others. This card may represent the nurturing nature of a mother embracing her child, a teacher guiding his student, or a master training his apprentice. Each balances the desire to protect and provide direction to those under his or her care, with the need to also allow room for personal growth. We can prepare them, inform them, advise them, but eventually there will come the moment when we will need to resist the impulse to reach out, and instead must let them fall. I would have said let them go. When they rise again of their own accord, we can take comfort in knowing that we taught them all and well. Okay, awesome. Yep. Small kids grow up. We all have to learn and go fly the coop or leave the group. It's amazing how they resonate with me, you know. And you've got the card 49. That's a jester with pigeons or doves. Peace, archway. That means the archway of the porthole of the angels. Sorry, mate just wanted to go out. Okay, there you are. Okay, assistance, help, support. This is for Scorpio. We have trained and we have studied. We have fallen and picked ourselves up and try yet again. Certainly progress has been made with each effort and each attempt, but sometimes, despite it all, we have to acknowledge the reality that we can't do it entirely on our own. In this imaginary, the white doves are visual metaphors for helping hands. The physical support they provide here might take the form of emotional encouragement, financial assistance, or expert advice based on knowledge or previous experience. The challenge now is to achieve a balance, to offer help but not be reliant. So the other person, you can give help, but they must not become reliant on you. And that could be your new beginning, stepping through that archway, learning how to help, but not being a help that they can rely on. Okay, help is given out of free will. Okay, now we've got Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Ooh, I haven't had this one before. Awesome. It looks really like a fire card, and yet they've got a dove in their hand. Look at that. Action, 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 fire. It's number 39. I'm sorry I'm taking a little bit longer, but these cards don't have words. Offering comfort and healing care. Ooh, nice one. For a broken wing or a broken spirit, the healing process begins with the bond of caring and comfort. Let a kind word or a gentle touch offer assurance that you are there and the other is not alone. A pure white dove is held in nurturing manner by the caring woman dressed in deep, vibrant red. The red of her clothing and headdress bring to mind the color of the first chakra, Muladhara, the chakra associated with self-preservation. Well, for me, that means earthed, the earth chakra. That's in the groin. This is a card about caring, whether you have a need to nurture your own soul with some quiet time or recreation, or there is someone who needs your help. This card shows that by doing everything you can to be well grounded, you can be a nurturing spirit. Hold the object of your ministrations lightly in your mind, lest, like a frightened bird, they fly beyond your power to heal. So you can manifest and send people healing and let them know that you're there for them. Okay? Okay, I think that's an awesome card for Sagittarius BOOGSCHUTTER. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed that. That's the energies for each star sign for today. You can look back on it and see whether it happens tomorrow. It is food for thought, and if it doesn't resonate with you, listen to your rising sign or your moon sign. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you in about 20 minutes. Ciao, ciao. Good night and be blessed, and give me the thumbs up as much as possible and share with family and friends. Love it. Ciao, ciao.